Hello and welcome back. If you're new here, then welcome, and if you're returning, thank you as always for coming back. In today's video, I just wanted to do a little end of the month close and new month preparations, because I work from home, as some of you may already know, and I just like to be organized and on top of my things. So I just like to end my month on a positive and begin the next month on a positive, and what I do to get there. So I want to share that with you today. I really enjoy these videos and I wanted to create my own, so I hope you enjoy, and let's get into it. I use a program called Notion. Well, it's not a program, you can use it on like the website, and I have the free version. I don't pay anything, and I just use Notion to organize most of my agenda and my work flows, shall we say, and I just pop everything in there. So I'll show you what I do. Firstly, I reflect back on the month that I've had and just ask myself some questions and go through the list of my previous month's goals, and then from there we move on. So I'll show you what I do. I ask myself the following questions. One word to describe this month, then any memorable moments, highlights, things I'm proud of, or anything I want to remember. Did I complete my list of goals that I wrote? If not, why? Did something change? Did something happen that I didn't complete? What is the reason? What did I learn? I want to improve on, and I'm grateful for. So those are the things that I ask myself, just to get some clarity around what happened last month or this month, what it looked like, what it felt like. And for me, this October has been a bit challenging because we had some terrible floods in Phuket. Although we weren't really impacted directly as much as other people, it was just a mood. I don't know, I felt deflated. I felt like I didn't have energy. Unfortunately, my personality and my character really allows the weather to affect me. I didn't think I would ever be that person because I am from the UK, but since I've lived outside of the UK, which has been most of my adult life, I've really struggled with the weather. So this month I've fallen off track a little bit, and I know that I have some things to improve on and get back on track. So I know my goals were not all complete, but that's just me being really honest with you, and that is reality. It's not always going to be a perfect month. No one has a perfect month, and yeah, I just want to be open and honest with you. So then I'll go through my list of things that I ask myself to do, so my goals for October, and tick them off one by one, hopefully, to see what I've completed. These were my goals for October, and I'm just going to reflect on if I met the goals or not. I usually do intersections, but I don't religiously do it all the same. It just depends on what I'm focusing on. Under self-development and self-care, I put daily gratitude practice, which I always do. Waking up early, yes. We've been waking up at 5 AM during the weekdays. We did fall off track for 1 week, but we have been waking up early regardless. Then reading 30 minutes every weekday, yes. And doing the Joe Dispenza course every weekday, no. I've not been doing that consistently enough to tick it off, so that will be on my list for next month. Then health and fitness, workout 5 days per week. Can't say I did that because it wasn't consistent enough because of the floods that we had in Phuket, and yeah, we just had a bit of a rough week during the floods. Planning meals ahead, I think me and Roberta did do that together, and we didn't overcomplicate preparing the meals. We just planned ahead rather than leaving it till last minute. Drinking more water, I've consciously been making an effort to do that. Yoga every weekday evening, no, I haven't been doing that. I really fell off track 1 week, so unfortunately I didn't complete that either. Relationship, have more patience. I think I mean, I don't know if I can answer for myself, but I think I've consciously put effort into being more patient in my relationship. Spend quality time together without phones. Yes, we've done that. We have actually done that multiple times now, which is really nice. We've had 2 date nights. We had a really nice Italian, which is quite close to our place, which was beautiful. We found a nice restaurant really close to us as well, which was kind of fancy, but we were yawning by 8:30, so we came home. But anyway, we did go. Read more together, less Netflix. Yes, we've been doing that. Roberto is now reading Atomic Habits, which is amazing. business and finance. I don't want to put too much personal things on here just for obvious reasons, but these are some things that I wrote down to show you. Track Facebook ads daily. Yes, I have a brilliant Excel sheet for this. I hate Excel, but I know I've got to do it, so I do it daily and I input it daily. Sell everything out of stock. So we have an e-commerce business and I wanted to sell out of stock, which we did, which is amazing. Run on pre-order. So basically following the out of stock, I want to run a pre-order. So before our stock arrives, I just want to start selling. So we've done that as well. Amazing. And run daily reports, which is just reporting all the figures and the numbers back into Excel, which is my worst nightmare. YouTube, reach 21,000 subscribers. Yes, I did that. Thank you so much. 1 video upload per week. So I'm not quite on the very end of October yet. I'm towards the end, but I'm not on the last day. So I will do that by the time the 31st comes. Then at least 1 paid sponsorship. I actually got two paid sponsorships, so I'm really happy with that. I'm really grateful. Plan content ahead of time. Yes, I have been using a program called Notion for planning all my content, so if you want to see that, just let me know and I can share that with you as well. Miscellaneous, so read a novel. I actually read 3 novels by Colleen Hansen, I want to say. 3 romantic kind of novels. I really love this author, so I can share more on her if you're interested. Enroll in a breathwork course. I've just done that this week, which is very exciting. I want to start going more into knowing more about breathwork, how to teach it to other people, and meditation as well. So that's something I'm really looking forward to. I've already started, so yeah, very exciting. Walks on the beach 3 times a week. Nope, didn't do that because of the floods and the fact that the tide that we have close, well, just outside our door here in Thailand is tidal. So that we've had really high tides due to the monsoon season. So I wasn't able to walk on the beach as much as I'd like, but we're going into high season soon, so I should be able to do that. Skincare day and night. Yes, I've been religiously doing my skincare. My theory test, believe it or not, I'm 30 years old, and I still don't have a driving license because I did it in Dubai, and unfortunately that's not valid in Thailand, so I have to do it again. So I did my theory test, but I couldn't do this because of the floods. So that will be on the next month's goal. So I just like to do this to see what I promised myself and what I ticked off. What I then do is write my goals for November. Now I'm not completely at the end of October yet, we have a couple of days to go, but I do tend to do this at the end of the month, towards the end of the month rather than in the new month, just so when I'm entering the first of the month I'm already clear on what it is that I want to do, what I want to achieve, and who I'm showing up as this month. So I'll show you how I do it. I sometimes do it on paper because I am a pen and paper girl, but I'm slowly starting to try to move across to something online just to waste less. But I do really enjoy putting pen to paper and putting music on and just writing what I want and all that kind of stuff. But your girl is trying to move across the technology. So I'll show you what I do on the technology side in terms of writing new goals. So as you can see here, I've put a new page on Notion for November goals, and I've added all my little pictures just because I'm a visual person. So I've got different categories. These do change depending on what I want to focus on, so it doesn't always stay the same, but I just try to keep self-development in there, business and finance and health and fitness always. So some things I wanna work on next month is completing one self-development book. I think that's a minimum that I can do. Meditation daily in the morning and in the evening, even if it's just for a couple of minutes each time. Read 30 minutes daily self-development. I want to do 1 hour Joe Dispenza course daily. I want to do 1 hour of the breathwork course daily. I want to wake up at 5 a.m. on the weekdays and do my Thai classes 4 hours per week, but with an open mind, because sometimes I'm losing patience with my Thai class and the motivation and willingness to learn, because I find it really challenging. So I just want to be more open-minded to that and approach it with more positivity, if that makes sense. Then health and fitness, I want to do yoga every evening. Again, it doesn't have to be a 40-minute 1 hour yoga session. It can just be 10 minutes even, just to get my breathing going and to connect with myself in the evening. That's something I really want to do. I want to limit alcohol to just the weekends. It's so easy to have a glass of wine with food or a beer in the hot sunshine, but I really want to try and limit myself and treat myself to weekends only. I want to do gym 5 times a week and beach walk 3 times per week. I didn't do that last month, the beach walk, but that's because of the floods. I really would like to hopefully be able to do that this month. Then business and finance. I try to keep this without too much detail for obvious reasons and privacy reasons, but I want to hit minimum 15k for this month for my e-commerce business. I want to have 2 YouTube paid collaborations, sign on 4 more clients for my personal coaching business, daily check-ins and daily spreadsheet reports. I am not a spreadsheet girl. I really don't enjoy Excel and numbers and all that kind of stuff. If you know me, you'll know I struggle with that. So that's something I'm working on and getting better at. So I want to do my practical driving test this month, and let's go to mindset. So spend less time on my phone, take a walk outside. I think I've already put that. To listen to podcasts on the beach. If I can't walk on the beach, I want to walk on the treadmill downstairs just to get my steps in. Meditate daily and smile at strangers. This is, I know that sounds a little bit random, but this is so powerful and not enough people do it. We're so stuck in our own world, stuck on our phones, and the power of this, especially with Thai people, is incredible. They are so friendly, and it just makes me feel amazing. So yeah, I'm gonna do that more. Then YouTube, I think I've written some of this already, but create and edit and upload at least 1 video per week. Reach 22k by the end of November subscribers. I don't know if I can do it, but I hopefully can. So if you're watching this, you're already helping me probably, so thank you so much. Sign at least 2 more paid collaborations and plan content for December. My mum is coming in November to stay, so I really need to keep on top of my stuff, if that makes sense. So that's what it looks like. I'm sure I'll add in more things here as I go and yeah, update it, but that's what I do. And then as let's say I complete this one, I can tick it off, and we hopefully will have a complete checklist by the end of November. But yeah, that's what I do to just set myself up for the month and just have a visual kind of presentation of what I want my month to look like. I haven't written every single thing on here, but just some things to show you guys. So yeah, that's that. The next thing I want to show you is my vision board. I am a very visual person, and I love aesthetically pleasing things. I think I've said this many times before, and that helps me, just having a vision board for each month, even if some of the pictures stay the same as the previous month, but just having, there's mosquitoes even inside the house, even just having just some pretty beautiful pictures to look at and remind me of what I'm focusing on, that helps me. I know you can't have that without any action. I understand action is really important, but for me that helps me to take action. So I'll show you how I create a simple vision board. I really enjoy printed vision boards and, you know, physical, printing the pictures out, sticking them on the wall. I like that too, but I tend to do that for a new year or a new quarter in the year. But this is just for a new month, so I'm gonna do it on Canva, and if you don't have Canva yet, get it, even if it's just the free version, because honestly I don't know what I would do without it. So I'll show you how I do that. So this is what my vision board looks like for November, and again, there's a lot of repetitive things that I have on my vision boards, but I just want to show you how to do it. It's really easy. Let me get this straightened up for you, hang on. Okay, so what I do is just come into Canva, create a new page, blank, and okay, and then go to Pinterest. You're gonna see all of the nonsense I've been looking at. Nails, weddings, all that kind of stuff. Not even engaged yet, but it's okay. And then I'll just come in here and find some things that I want to focus on. So for example, if I want to focus on meditation and being on top of my meditations daily, then I can just go in, copy this picture, you don't even need to save it, and come across and paste. And I literally just go with whatever I feel like going with. I find Pinterest really motivating, and if I want to go in and do more yoga, then I will just grab a beautiful yoga picture and then copy and paste that into Pinterest. You can, you know, go and put as many or as little as you want in here, whatever floats your boat, and you can even add like text in. So let's say I want to do 22,000 subscribers. I can put that in here, change the text to make it pretty, because, you know, we like those things. And then just fill it out as you want to go. I find this really helpful. You can set it as your background of your computer, your phone, whatever it is, and just reflect on this from time to time. So some things I want to work on and just be mindful of is yoga, like I mentioned. I want to start, and I know this sounds really cheesy, but I want to start romanticizing my life. And what I mean by that is, if I'm sitting down to read a book, like pour myself a nice glass of wine on the weekend, or light some candles, or I don't know, just wrap myself up in my most favorite hoodie or blanket or whatever it is. Like, not just rush. Everything in my life seems to be rush, 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 and I want to slow down and start romanticizing myself, making myself my favorite drink while I work, or whatever it is. Just taking time to love myself. Let me come back onto the camera one sec. I think it's important to take time to do things with joy and with pleasure, and for me it's like romanticizing your life. Look, if you read a book, light a candle, pour yourself a nice glass of wine, put some nice beautiful music on in the background, like those things for me make me feel like my best self and my highest self. I know it sounds crazy to some people, but that really helps me. So that's what I like to do. I want to start recording more YouTube content because I absolutely love it, and I know it helps some people, so that's something I'm very passionate about. I want to connect with nature, and the fact that I live in Thailand is so ironic, because, not ironic, is that the right word? But the fact that I live in Thailand and I work from home, I've created this life that I wanted, that I wrote in my journals a long time ago, and now I have it. I can work from anywhere, but then I stay in the house and I work in the house, which is so ridiculous, because I want to work from the pool, I want to work from the cafes, the beach, and I have the ability to do that, but I choose the house. So I'm living in such a beautiful country, and I'm so grateful and humbled to be living this kind of lifestyle. So I want to be able to go to the pool, for example. We have a beautiful pool in our apartment, and I want to go and enjoy that, even if it's just taking my laptop there or taking my book and reading there instead of just always inside the house. And I want to connect with nature. This past month has been the end of monsoon season in Thailand, and the weather has been pretty challenging, really miserable. So we're kind of seeing the back end of that now, hopefully. So I really want to get out and put my feet in the sand and in the earth and just connect with nature, because that just energizes you and makes you feel so much better. So that's something I want to focus on. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And also, as the sun, we always rise again. And I think when you work for yourself, it's really hard to... You always feel like you need to be working. You always feel like you need to be developing in some way, that you need to be reading self-development, listening to podcasts, listening to your mentors, watching interviews, learning something on YouTube. Like, you always feel, at least for me, that you need to be proactive in doing things. And the second I fall off track, I beat myself up about it, I feel super guilty about it, and then I procrastinate about getting back into work. It's really strange. So I want to remind myself that as the sun, we will rise again. If we fall off track, it's okay. It's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to have a bad afternoon, or whatever it is, a bad couple of days. It's normal, especially if you work online and you don't have anywhere to check in, no one's checking on you, and you only have yourself to motivate yourself. So allow yourself those times to be. If you feel like, okay, I'm not motivated, I'm not in a creative mood, I'm just gonna take my, I was gonna say take my book. No, we're not gonna take books. We're just gonna take ourselves to the pool, enjoy the sunshine, get some vitamin D, and that's the afternoon. And I'm okay with that. I've got to get to the point where I don't feel guilty. I don't know if that's ever gonna come, but that's something I'm focusing on, and that's something I'm working on. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I always do a meditation to focus on my goals. So I'll try to do like a manifesting session. I'll try to do a meditation just to really embody my goals, if that makes sense, and really visualize it. Yeah, I could talk all day about this, so if you want to know more about this topic or how I manage my time or whatever it is about around this topic, then let me know and I will be more than happy to share with you and answer any questions that you have. So I hope you enjoyed, and I don't know if I've missed anything out from this video that I wanted to mention. I don't think so. I wanted to tell you about the novels that I've been reading this month, and I finished so easily, so quickly. I absolutely love them, and it's my first time reading any books by this author, and I wanted to stop putting so much pressure on myself to only read self-development books, because I really want to enjoy a book as well, without feeling the need to write notes and learn. I want to relax at the same time. So it's on my Kindle. I'm not a massive fan of Kindles. I like it because I can read it in the night without any night light, and I can fall asleep reading it. It's really nice, but I do miss a hard copy of books. But since we move around so much and we don't know where we are from one minute to the next, it works. But anyway, don't need to go into details. I'm just reading it from here so I don't forget. So the first book I read by Colleen Hoover, I called her Hanson earlier or something like that. Colleen Hoover. She's a New York Times bestseller, I think, and she's very famous, but I'd only just discovered her books. So I read Reminders of Him, and then I read It Ends With Us, and then I read November 9th, which I love them all. If you want to get into a book that is like kind of romantic but has struggles throughout, and it just takes you on this beautiful journey. All three of them took me on amazing journeys, and I couldn't put the books down, all three of them, which for me is the best feeling, although the worst, because you don't want the book to end, and I love that feeling of, oh, I want to read but I don't want it to end, but I love the book so much. So those are the books I've been reading and finished and loved all this month. And the series that we've been watching, we finished Animal Kingdom on Netflix, and we started to watch Vatican Girl, which is pretty new, and we started to watch it in the last couple of days. So I'm excited to see how that goes. Let me know if you're watching anything interesting. The Vatican Girl is about a girl who went missing 37 years ago in Vatican City in Rome, and since we've just been to Rome and this is such a huge history, this whole thing, then for me is really interesting. So I'm very curious to see how this it's like a documentary, but it's done so well. If you haven't seen Don't F With The Cats, that is probably one of the best made documentaries I've ever seen, and this is, I think, by the same producer, director, I don't really know what to call them, by the same person. So it's done very cleverly, keeps your attention, and I really like it. So I'm curious to see how that ends up. We'll talk about it in the next month's video. Have a beautiful end of your month. Sit down and do this if I were you. I find it really, really helpful to me to keep on track as best as I can and to reflect. Reflecting is really important. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.